What's up, guys? My name is Mr. Green, and in this video we're going to be talking about Michael Mann's 1990s classic, Heat. So Heat, as previously stated, was directed by Michael Mann and stars Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer, William Fichtner, Jon Voight, Natalie Portman, so many more people. I was sitting there watching the movie for the first time, and I was like, oh yeah, De Niro, Pacino, oh yeah, Kilmer, I know he's in this. And then I don't know what happened. I looked away, and then as the film kept going, I was like, is that Jon Voight? It is Jon Voight. Is that Tone Loc? What's he doing here? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what's good, talking about what's bad, and then I'm going to be reviewing this Blu-ray that I have right here, the 2-disc Blu-ray Digital HD Director High Definition. So I'm looking forward to talking about that. And without further ado, let's get into it. So last year was Black Friday, and it was the first Black Friday that I was honestly taking seriously, so I went down to Best Buy, and then I saw Heat. It was on sale for like $6, and I was like, I hear that movie's really good. So I picked it up, and then I just kind of tucked it on the shelf. I like to take off the wrapping, because it just bugs me when it's sitting there all wrapped up, but I never watched it. And then, in January, I watched Collateral, which is also directed by Michael Mann, stars Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, Mark Ruffalo, Javier Bardem. That movie's a masterpiece. I loved it. I want to talk about it one day. But I saw it and I was like, oh my god, that movie's awesome. And I was like, I can't wait to see more Michael Mann movies. But for some reason, I just wouldn't watch it. Then I was like, you know what? Today's the day. Started watching it. Then I just got really tired, so I stopped it. Then a few weeks later, or maybe months, I went at it again. I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna watch Heat. And then I stopped it again. And then I did that 3 times until I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm sitting down and I'm watching Heat. And it was good. Not a masterpiece. Not one of the great action movies. It was just really good. Now, before you all form a militia and burn down my house, I would like to explain. I don't hate this movie. I like this movie. It's a good movie. I don't think it's a masterpiece, but it's a good movie. Let me talk about what's good about it. The cast is amazing. Al Pacino and Robert De Niro are amazing in this movie. When I went into it, I thought it was going to be De Niro playing the cop and Pacino playing the criminal, because I always thought like Robert De Niro like playing the good roles. Like I hadn't seen Cape Fear yet. So I was like, oh, he's going to play the good guy, and Pacino's going to play the bad guy, because I saw The Godfather, and he was kind of evil in that, even though he was the main character. I'm rambling. But I was pleasantly surprised to see that it was De Niro playing the villain, and Pacino playing the hero. I put quotes because they're very similar. It's a lot like Collateral. They're on opposite sides. One's technically the good guy, and one's technically the bad guy. But they're very similar, and they don't just say, oh, he is good, he's bad. Like De Niro, there's this scene where he goes out on a date with this girl from the library, and it's humanizing him. And with Val Kilmer, you see that he has a very dysfunctional home life with his wife and his kids, and that was nice to see. That brought him down to earth, brought him down to our level, so to speak. And again, with Pacino, you see that he's kind of like neglectful to his stepdaughter and his wife. And that was also interesting to see. So they weren't like, this is the good guys, these are the bad guys. They fight and the good guys win. They didn't make it so black and white. They made them human, and I really like that. Another actor that stood out to me was Natalie Portman. For one, I did not know she was gonna be in this. Second, she was like a child, so I didn't know that either. And she was really good in the movie. Yeah, she kind of surprised me that the way the end, what happened with what they did with her in the end, which I'm not going to spoil. I really liked that. That was one of the higher parts of the movie. And I like Jon Voight. Wish he was in it more, but he was good. Always nice to see William Fichtner. I had fun with him. And so the cast was good. There's nothing wrong with the cast. Michael Mann directs this film very well. The action scenes were really breathtaking. Like the action scenes, they were a feat. Like, you see, the way they pulled it off, and like the way it sounds so real. It sounds like you're there. You're in the midst of a gunfight. There's bullets flying everywhere, and just a big firefight, and it felt like I was there, and it was probably like the most riveting part of the movies. Whenever they were pulling off a heist or the shootout at the end, those were great scenes. But I started this off by saying that I didn't like this film as much as everyone else, so let me explain why. I hate the sound editing and the sound mixing. I hate it. I don't know if it's part of the Blu-ray, so I'm going to take points off of that when I get there, but since it sounds so real, when they're talking, I couldn't hear crap. I was sitting there, like, trying to read lips. I don't like to turn on subtitles, because then I'm not focusing on the actors, I'm focusing on the words. So I was just trying to figure out what they were saying, and I had no idea. I was just sitting there thinking, what is Al Pacino saying? And then I turned up the volume, and I was like, okay, now I can hear you. Then BAM! Big action scene, guns flying everywhere, people dying, and I'm like, ow, my ears, I can't hear. So the sound editing got on my nerves. This film also could have been paced better, like the action scenes and like the third act is very fast paced. That was very entertaining. But the first two acts were very like slow, and I'm a fan of slow burns. I like slow pacing, but this was not the slow pacing that I liked. This was just kind of dragging on. I was like, all right, come on, pick back up, come on, you're almost there. Oh my god, hey, action scene. I'm keeping going. Oh. I feel like if they paced if it was all like at the same pace, like it was faster pace, the climax, while it is really fast paced and I like it, it just annihilates the pacing. If they just kept it at 1, I probably wouldn't be as frustrated, but it ends so fast paced. So it's just jumping up and down. The thing that I kind of like and don't like is the cinematography. Some of the shots at night, much like Collateral, like the nighttime sequences look really nice, but there was some nighttime sequences that looked amazing, and other times where I just couldn't see what was happening, and so that I just kind of go back and forth. Like, do I like it? Do I not? I don't know. I mean, I can see this very clearly. Oh, I don't see that very clearly. I'm very iffy about it. So there's that. Now I will give credit where credit is due. I love the script. The script is really good. My favorite scene in the movie is when Pacino and De Niro have like their sit down in like the coffee shop. I think it was a coffee shop, and they were just talking. That was my favorite scene in the movie. And I like how they build up their rivalry when they only have like 2 scenes together. And so I really like that. And something else that I did like was the very end. Like the way it ends at the airport and all that, I really liked. That was a very fitting ending. So I just wanted to say that. So guys, in the end, I like Heat. Heat is a good, it's not a bad movie, it's a good movie. But I didn't like it as much as everyone else. I don't know if it was just overhyped, like some other movies that I might talk about one day on the channel. But it just felt, it didn't feel as amazing as I thought it would be. I was expecting like a big action, drama, crime, spectacle with cool action scenes and great dialogue. And I just got a really good crime drama. So in the end, I'm just going to give Heat a B+. Now I'm going to talk about this Blu-ray. Again, I don't know if it was the cinematography's fault and the sound editing's fault. It could just be the Blu-ray, but I'm gonna assume it's the Blu-ray, because there were times, again, I couldn't make out what was happening. It was very muddy, it wasn't very clean. I like film grain, but this was like very just like gross, muddy scenes. But then like the daytime sequences are like very vivid, and then some of the nighttime sequences, like at the airport scene, I could see what was happening very clearly. And then there's the sound editing. I couldn't hear what they were saying. Again, it could just be part of the Blu-ray. I don't know what the audio track is, but I'm just gonna say it's probably this. There were scenes where I just didn't understand what they were saying, and then my eardrums would get blown out because there would be a very loud action scene that would follow it. So it's just too inconsistent. It's a very inconsistent Blu-ray or a very inconsistent movie. I'm probably just gonna blame this. It came with the digital code, which is something I always like, because they don't have any, like, you know, portable Blu-ray players with a little screen that you can take on the airport. So if you have a digital code, then you can just download it and you're on a plane. You can just watch, oh, I'm gonna watch Heat, bop, hey, from your phone or your tablet or your computer or whatever you use on planes. So I like that. Now for the packaging, it's got a nice little cover on the front. There's a digital code right here that I don't want you stealing, even though I already redeemed it. And it's got the 2 discs. They're the same. They got the same little Blu-ray thing. They got their nice artwork. The only difference is that this is the director's definitive edition, and this is a bonus disc with lots of bonus features. And speaking of bonus features, they are as follows. I can't find that. There they are. Sorry. I could edit it out, but I'd rather not. Audio commentary with writer, co-producer, director Michael Mann on the 2nd disc. Toronto International Film Festival, Q&A with Michael Mann. Academy Q&A with Christopher Nolan. The Making of Heat 3-part documentary. Deleted scenes, Pacino and De Niro, The Conversation. And the return to the scene of the crime. So it's got some decent amount of special features, all on the 2nd disc. This is just, like, again, problem just with me, with my copy. It's got the stuff stuck to the spine, which you know that I hate. I just wanted to peel off, and now it's just all messy. And this didn't come with a slip cover, so I can't cover it up. It's just kind of messy, and it's just, yeah, it's just the spine's a bit not as clean as some of the other spines, but that's just a little pet peeve of mine, but I am counting it. So guys, in the end, the Blu-ray for Heat, the definitive edition, the 2-disc, maybe go for a different copy. Maybe a different copy would have like a better sounding version. I'd recommend getting this one if it's like at a good price, because I got it at a good price. I don't regret buying it. It came with a digital code and everything. So if you see it like at a Best Buy at Black Friday, you can buy it. I'm going to give the Blu-ray for Heat a 5 out of 10. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, share, subscribe. Let's try and aim for 50. We got that watermark on. Woohoo. So let's just keep going. We're on the roll. Yeah, so bye.